Morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, election day, in case you've been living under a rock. This is your pre-opening comment video number 2273. Okay, so Asia and Europe both higher. Asia higher by about 1%. The Hang Seng is higher by 2%. Europe slightly higher, slightly, nothing overwhelming. Trade balance came out at 8:30. It was minus, always a minus, 84.4 billion. Expectations were for 84 billion, so it came in pretty much in line. However, looking in the rearview mirror, last month it was minus 70.8. So in order to find a higher number, you have to go all the way back to April of 22. And really, you know, this kind of news is pretty much in the market. There's really not much that's happened since the market. Before the number, the Dow was up 43, currently up 51. NASDAQ was up 71, currently up 74.40. And the S&P was up 12. It's now up 12.56. So, clearly the election is what takes precedent today. At 9:30 and 10 o'clock, we have the S&P Global Service PMI, followed by the ISM Service PMI. And we also have a 10-year auction today. Results will be announced at 1 o'clock. The issue there, the only comparison I can give you, is the fact that they had one this morning in the UK, also a 10-year, only 5 billion auctioned, and it did not go well. So we'll have to see how ours looks a little later on. Chart on the screen is the copper. I did an update yesterday on it, and as you can see, it's continued higher. Ideally, we'd like to see a close above this 449.35. Currently 488.80, and that's up another 5.65 cents. So we do have a little bit of a crossover here. I'm going to blow this up a little so you can see it. We do have a crossover of the 5 through the 20-day. If we carry through, I could easily see us back at the 460, 470 area. It seems like a long way off, but it came down awfully fast, so wouldn't be terribly surprised. Our other big position in these markets is the nat gas, which is up again slightly after yesterday's huge reversal. Traded down to 251 and then closed at 278. That's a huge move. That's a 10% intraday move. Bounced pretty much off this red line, which is the 100-day moving average, and is following through a little this morning. This one has a little bit further to go. We really don't have anything overwhelming until we close, let's call it, above this area. This is 286. This is 285.9. So something over 286, 287 is where we really need to be, and 284 and a half is roughly the 20-day moving average. On a weekly basis, we have made some progress here, bouncing again, as I said, and looking pretty strong. On a weekly basis, the next high close would be this 285.40, followed by 290. So kind of a distance to get back to $3, but at least it's headed in the right direction. Also, I want to bring up, there's a company that's advertising. It's called Red Chip. They advertise to death on CNBC, and I want you to be aware that very often you see these advertisements and they have more effect because they tend to have some degree of legitimacy. SCPX is the symbol for this one, and they talk about, biological warfare and how they're partnered with the government. This stock has been reverse split. This is going to be on the list of biggest destruction of equity in history. The stock has been reversed 1 for 10, 1 for 7, and most recently in the last couple of weeks, 1 for 200. That gives it an adjusted high of 180,000. The last is $4.79. And according to my chart, unless there's something wrong with it, which I strongly doubt, like a symbol change, this stock hasn't traded since August. So, you can see it. You can see the ad on CNBC, but don't get sucked in. I mean, 180,000 to $4.79. That's pretty awful. You really have to have a set to put that type of a company on TV. Okay, last, Dow up 46, NASDAQ up 73, and the S&P is up $11.60. Hope everyone has a good election day. Don't forget to get out there and vote, even though, your choices are somewhat limited to worst and least worst. So on we go.